Imagine this. You wake up one morning, feeling tired, even though you got a full night's rest. You grab a glass of water, and before you know it, you're reaching for another and another, because no matter how much you drink, you still feel thirsty. Later in the day, your vision goes a little blurry, your energy crashes, and you shrug it off as just getting older or maybe too much stress. But what if I told you these aren't random, harmless annoyances? What if I told you these could be your body's desperate cry for help? Right now, millions of people are walking around with dangerously high blood sugar levels, and they don't even know it. They think they're fine until one day everything changes. A doctor's visit, a shocking lab result, or worse, a health crisis they never saw coming. The truth is, high blood sugar is silent, sneaky, and deadly if ignored. But here's the good news. Your body is constantly giving you signals. 16 warning signs that your blood sugar is rising out of control, and 8 clear symptoms that could mean diabetes is already taking hold. And here's where it gets powerful. Once you learn these signs, you'll never look at your fatigue, your cravings, your mood swings, or even your trips to the bathroom the same way again. Because hidden inside these everyday experiences are clues that could save your life. So ask yourself right now, are you really listening to your body? Or are you brushing off the very symptoms that could change everything? Most people don't realize that high blood sugar is not just about eating too much candy or drinking too many sodas. It's a silent force that slowly chips away at your health, often without dramatic warning at first. That's what makes it so dangerous. Your body runs on glucose, the sugar that fuels your cells, your muscles, even your brain. But when glucose levels remain too high for too long, instead of giving you energy, it begins to poison your system. The damage builds slowly, quietly, and most people go about their daily lives completely unaware of what's happening inside them. Think about it like this. If your house had a leak in the roof, a small steady drip, you might not notice it right away. Maybe the ceiling gets slightly discolored. Maybe there's a faint smell of mildew, but you don't pay much attention. Meanwhile, that leak is spreading behind the walls, weakening the structure, causing rot that you can't see. By the time the roof finally collapses, the damage has been there for years. That's exactly how high blood sugar works. It weakens blood vessels, damages nerves, burdens your kidneys, clouds your vision, and wears down your immune system long before you ever hear the official word diabetes. The frightening part is how common this problem has become. Millions of people walk around every single day with elevated blood sugar levels, and most of them don't even know it. They go to work, take care of their families, and live their lives while this silent danger is eroding their health. And because it doesn't always strike suddenly, it's easy to dismiss the signs. Feeling tired? You think it's stress? Thirsty all the time? Maybe it's just the weather. Blurry vision? Maybe you need new glasses. But beneath these everyday experiences, something much more serious may be brewing. What makes high blood sugar especially alarming is the ripple effect it has throughout your entire body. Sugar in the bloodstream acts like tiny shards of glass, scraping and scarring blood vessel walls. Over time, this damage invites cholesterol to stick, forming dangerous plaques that clog your arteries. This raises your risk for heart disease, strokes, and circulation problems that can lead to something as devastating as an amputation. Your kidneys, which are supposed to filter waste from your blood, now have to work overtime to flush out the excess sugar. Eventually, they begin to fail. Your eyes, delicate and dependent on tiny vessels, start to suffer, leading to vision loss or even blindness. And because your immune system is weakened, something as simple as a small cut or infection can turn into a serious, life-threatening condition. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't have diabetes, so I don't need to worry. That's exactly the dangerous trap so many fall into. You don't need a diagnosis to be at risk. High blood sugar isn't an overnight problem. It's a slow build that leads to prediabetes first and then full-blown diabetes if ignored. And once you reach that point, the consequences are far more difficult to reverse. But if you pay attention early, if you learn the signs and take action, you can stop the silent threat before it takes hold of your life. It's also important to understand that blood sugar is not just about what you eat in the moment. It's about patterns. It's the daily choices, the small habits that add up over time. Every time you reach for processed food, skip exercise, sacrifice sleep, or let stress run unchecked, you're adding fuel to the fire. You may not feel it immediately, but your body keeps score. Years of small neglect pile up until the damage is too great to ignore. That's why people are so often shocked when their doctor finally says, your blood sugar is dangerously high. Never saw it coming, because they never understood that the little things mattered. And here's the motivational truth. You are not powerless. High blood sugar may be silent, but it is not unstoppable. Knowledge is your first weapon. Once you know what to look for, once you understand the risks, you can take control before it's too late. The human body is incredibly resilient. With the right lifestyle shifts, cleaner foods, regular movement, proper rest, and stress management, your body can fight back. Blood sugar can normalize, energy can return, and long-term damage can be prevented. The danger comes not from high blood sugar itself, but from ignoring it, from thinking I'll deal with it later, or it's probably nothing. Later becomes too late. Nothing turns into something life-altering. I want you to imagine the difference between two futures. In one, you brush off the signs, you live as if everything is fine, and years down the road, you're sitting in a doctor's office, hearing words you never wanted to hear. In the other, you pay attention now, you learn the signs, you make the changes, and instead of being forced into a life of medications, complications, and restrictions, you enjoy vitality, strength, and freedom. Your body has been speaking to you this whole time. The fatigue, the cravings, the thirst, the slow healing cuts, these are not random. They are messages. High blood sugar doesn't shout at first, it whispers. The real question is, are you listening? Because ignoring these whispers allows them to grow into screams. And when the body starts screaming, it usually means the damage is already done. This is why understanding the silent danger of high blood sugar is not just medical knowledge, it's survival knowledge. It's not about living in fear, it's about living in awareness. When you know the risks, when you respect what's at stake, you make better choices. You protect yourself. You give yourself and the people who love you a stronger, healthier future. And if you've ever felt powerless about your health, here's your reminder. You have more control than you think. You don't need to wait for a diagnosis to start taking action. You don't need to wait for a health scare to decide that your body deserves better. Every single choice you make can either fuel the silent danger or fight against it. The decision is always in your hands. So when we talk about high blood sugar, we are not just talking about a number on a test result. We are talking about your life, your energy, your future. We are talking about the difference between thriving and merely surviving. And if you truly understand this silent danger, you won't ignore it another day. You'll choose to act, to listen, and to protect the one thing that matters most, your health. When it comes to high blood sugar, your body doesn't stay completely silent. It sends you signals, sometimes subtle, sometimes obvious, but always important. The problem is, most of us brush them off, telling ourselves it's just stress, lack of sleep, or getting older. But the truth is, these signs are warnings, and ignoring them can cost you your health. Let's walk through 16 alarming signs your blood sugar may be higher than it should be. And as you listen, ask yourself honestly if any of these sound familiar. One of the most common signs is constant fatigue. You could sleep 8 or even 9 hours, but you wake up feeling like you haven't rested at all. That's because when your blood sugar is high, your cells aren't absorbing glucose properly. The energy that should be fueling you is trapped in your bloodstream, leaving you exhausted no matter how much you rest. If you're always dragging through your day, that's a red flag. Another big warning sign is excessive thirst. You feel like no matter how much water you drink, your mouth stays dry. This happens because your body is trying to flush out the extra sugar in your blood through urine. In the process, you're losing water. It's a vicious cycle. The more you urinate, the more dehydrated you become. And the more dehydrated you are, the thirstier you feel. If you're constantly reaching for water and never feeling satisfied, pay attention. That brings us to frequent urination. High blood sugar makes your kidneys work overtime to clear the excess sugar. And the result is more trips to the bathroom, especially at night. If you find yourself waking up multiple times to urinate, that's not just an inconvenience. It's a warning that your blood sugar may be out of balance. Blurry vision is another symptom that too many people ignore. When blood sugar spikes, fluid can leak into the lenses of your eyes, causing them to swell. This affects your ability to focus, leaving your vision hazy. Some people think they just need new glasses, but if the problem comes and goes, it could actually be your blood sugar speaking to you. Unexplained weight loss can also be a signal. When your cells can't get the sugar they need for energy, your body starts burning fat and muscle instead. This might sound like a good thing at first, but it's not healthy weight loss. It's your body essentially cannibalizing itself because it's starving for fuel, even though sugar is right there in your blood. On the other hand, some people notice sudden weight gain, especially around the belly. High blood sugar and insulin resistance encourage fat storage, particularly in the midsection, and this kind of weight is especially dangerous because it increases your risk of heart disease and other complications. If your waistline is expanding without clear reason, it's worth investigating. Another sign to look for is slow healing of cuts and wounds. High blood sugar damages blood vessels, limiting circulation and reducing your body's ability to repair itself. That's why people with uncontrolled diabetes are at higher risk for infections and even amputations. If you notice that minor scrapes or bruises seem to linger far longer than they should, don't ignore it. Frequent infections, particularly skin, gum, or urinary tract infections, are another alarming signal. Excess sugar in the body creates a perfect environment for bacteria and yeast to thrive. If you keep getting infections without a clear cause, your blood sugar could be the culprit. Numbness, tingling, or burning sensations in your hands and feet, what doctors call neuropathy, are also linked to high blood sugar. Elevated sugar damages nerves over time, and the extremities are usually the first to suffer. At first, it may feel like a mild annoyance, but left untreated, it can progress to permanent nerve damage. Headaches are another clue. Fluctuating blood sugar levels can affect the brain, causing both tension-type headaches and even migraines. If you find yourself experiencing headaches more often than usual, especially after meals, your body may be struggling with blood sugar control. Cravings for sweets and constant hunger are two more signals. When your cells don't get the glucose they need, your body thinks it's starving and it demands more food, especially sugar, even though your blood is already overloaded with it. This endless cycle can make you feel like you're never satisfied, no matter how much you eat. Irritability and mood swings can also be connected. The brain depends on a steady supply of glucose, and when blood sugar is unstable, so is your mood. If you notice yourself snapping at loved ones, feeling unusually anxious, or struggling with emotional ups and downs, your blood sugar could be one of the hidden factors. Difficult concentrating, sometimes called brain fog, is another sign. High blood sugar interferes with the brain's ability to process information clearly. You may find yourself forgetting simple things, struggling to focus on tasks, or feeling mentally drained even without much stress. Dry skin and itchiness may not seem like a big deal, but they can also signal high blood sugar. Dehydration from frequent urination, along with poor circulation, leaves your skin parched and more prone to irritation. When your skin feels constantly dry no matter how much lotion you use, it could be more than just the weather. Another subtle but dangerous sign is darkened patches of skin, often around the neck, armpits, or groin. This condition, called acanthosis nigricans, is linked to insulin resistance and high blood sugar. Many people ignore it thinking it's just a skin issue, but it's actually your body waving a red flag. Finally, frequent nausea or stomach discomfort can also be tied to high blood sugar. When sugar levels are elevated, it can slow down digestion, a condition called gastroparesis. This leads to bloating, nausea, and stomach pain. If you find yourself dealing with these issues regularly without explanation, it's worth considering blood sugar as a possible cause. 16 signs, 16 ways your body is trying to warn you that something is wrong. And here's the reality. One or two of these symptoms might not seem like much, but when they start stacking up, when you notice patterns, that's when you need to pay attention. Because these aren't just random inconveniences. They are clues, signals, alarms. Your body is saying, help me, something isn't right. And the earlier you recognize them, the more power you have to change the outcome. Now here's the question only you can answer. How many of these signs sound familiar in your life right now? How many of them have you brushed off, hoping they'd go away on their own? Because the truth is, they don't just go away. High blood sugar is a progressive problem, and the longer it's ignored, the worse it becomes. But the opposite is also true. The sooner you acknowledge these signs, the sooner you can take back control. Diabetes doesn't just show up overnight. It builds silently, step by step, until the body begins to show clearer, stronger, and more dangerous symptoms that cannot be ignored. While high blood sugar has many subtle warning signs, diabetes itself brings with it a set of symptoms that tell you the condition is already taking hold. These are not just inconveniences. They are alarms that your health is in real jeopardy. If you ever notice these 8 symptoms in yourself or someone you love, it's a wake-up call that immediate action is needed. One of the most alarming and obvious symptoms is unexplained weight loss. At first, some people actually celebrate it. They say, I didn't even diet and I'm losing weight. This is great. But in reality, it's not. It's your body screaming for help. When diabetes develops, your cells are starved of the glucose they need for energy because insulin isn't doing its job properly. To compensate, your body begins breaking down muscle and fat for fuel. The result? Rapid, unexplained weight loss that looks good in the mirror but is extremely dangerous beneath the surface. If you find yourself losing pounds without trying, don't take it as a blessing, take it as a warning. Another symptom that you should never ignore is constant fatigue and weakness. Everyone gets tired now and then, but this is different. This is a deep, unshakable exhaustion that doesn't go away with rest. Even after a full night's sleep, you feel drained, like your body has no energy to give. That's because the glucose in your blood is not being delivered to your cells where it belongs. Your muscles, your brain, your entire body are being deprived of fuel. So while your blood is overloaded with sugar, your cells are literally starving. If you're dragging yourself through life, unable to focus or function without caffeine, it may not just be life being stressful. It could be diabetes. Extreme thirst and frequent urination are 2 symptoms that almost always go hand in hand. When blood sugar levels rise too high, the kidneys go into overdrive, trying to filter out the excess sugar. This pulls more water from your body, making you urinate more often. And as your body loses water, you become dehydrated, which triggers unquenchable thirst. This cycle repeats endlessly. You drink, you urinate, you drink again, but nothing seems to satisfy that dry mouth or parched throat. If you're up several times a night running to the bathroom, that's not just aging, it's a potential sign of diabetes. Another clear and frightening symptom is blurred vision. When sugar levels rise, fluid can leak into the lens of your eye, causing it to swell and distort your vision. Sometimes it clears up, sometimes it comes and goes, and sometimes it gets worse. But make no mistake, this isn't about needing new glasses. It's about sugar attacking the delicate structures of your eyes. Left untreated, diabetes can lead to permanent eye damage and even blindness. If you find yourself struggling to see clearly, don't brush it off. It could be one of the clearest signals that your blood sugar is dangerously out of control. Slow healing of wounds is another critical symptom. A small cut that should heal in days lingers for weeks. A simple scrape becomes infected. A minor injury grows into something far more serious. This happens because diabetes damages blood vessels and reduces circulation, starving your tissues of the nutrients and oxygen they need to repair themselves. Combined with a weakened immune system, it's a recipe for disaster. This is why untreated diabetes can lead to amputations. If your body is taking far too long to heal, it's not just getting older. It's a sign that something deeper is going wrong. Nerve pain, numbness or tingling, especially in the hands and feet, is another symptom that should never be ignored. This is called diabetic neuropathy, and it happens because excess sugar damages the tiny nerves throughout the body. At first, it might feel like a mild tingling or pins and needles sensation. Over time, it can progress into burning pain, loss of feeling, or complete numbness. And when you can't feel pain properly, you may not even notice injuries until they're infected or severe. This is not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. If your extremities feel different, if you're experiencing strange sensations in your hands or feet, diabetes could be the cause. Recurring infections round out the list of serious symptoms. Diabetes weakens your immune system, making you more vulnerable to bacteria and fungi. Yeast infections, gum infections, skin infections, urinary tract infections. They become more frequent and harder to get rid of. High sugar levels essentially feed these invaders, creating the perfect environment for them to thrive. If you keep finding yourself sick, battling the same infections again and again, your body is waving a red flag that should not be ignored. Finally, we cannot overlook the impact on mental clarity and mood. Diabetes doesn't only affect the body, it affects the brain. High blood sugar levels can lead to brain fog, difficulty concentrating, irritability, and mood swings. People often underestimate this symptom, chalking it up to stress or busyness, but it's deeply tied to how your brain functions when blood sugar isn't stable. Your brain needs a steady flow of glucose to operate at its best. When that flow is disrupted, your ability to think, remember, and even regulate emotions is compromised. These 8 symptoms together form a clear picture. Diabetes is no longer just a silent threat, it's a present danger. And ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. They are signals, flashing lights on the dashboard of your body, telling you that urgent action is required. The tragedy is that many people only take them seriously after a crisis, after losing their vision, after suffering nerve damage, after a heart attack. But you don't have to wait for disaster to strike. The empowering truth is that recognizing these symptoms early can save your life. You can take back control through lifestyle changes, medical support, and consistent monitoring. You can stop the progression, manage the condition, and protect your health for years to come. But it begins with listening, really listening to what your body is telling you. So ask yourself this: have you been experiencing unexplained weight loss, crushing fatigue, constant thirst, endless bathroom trips, blurred vision, wounds that refuse to heal, strange sensations in your hands or feet, or infections that keep coming back? If even one of these sounds familiar, don't ignore it, don't wait, don't convince yourself it's nothing, because the longer you wait, the more damage is being done, and the sooner you act, the more power you have to change your story. High blood sugar doesn't appear out of nowhere. It isn't just bad luck, and it isn't always about genetics. In most cases, it's a direct reflection of how we live our daily lives. Every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, the choices you make either keep your blood sugar balanced or push it higher and higher. That's both the bad news and the good news. The bad news is, if your habits are working against you, your risk for high blood sugar and diabetes skyrockets. The good news is, if you change those habits, you can take control of your health, often more powerfully than medication ever could. Think about your diet first. For so many of us, food is the biggest culprit. Processed foods, sugary drinks, pastries, candy bars, white bread, fast food meals loaded with refined carbs. They taste good in the moment, but inside your body, they act like gasoline on a fire. They cause your blood sugar to spike quickly, forcing your pancreas to release more insulin to try and bring it back down. Over time, your body becomes resistant to that insulin, leaving sugar trapped in your blood. That's when the real damage begins. Every soda, every bag of chips, every oversized portion is not just a snack, it's a deposit into your future health problems. But diet isn't just about the bad foods we eat. It's also about what we fail to eat. Fiber-rich foods like vegetables, fruits, beans, and whole grains help slow down the release of sugar into your bloodstream, keeping your levels stable. Lean proteins and healthy fats, like those from fish, nuts, and avocados, not only fuel your body, but also help balance the effects of carbohydrates. When you skip these foods and rely on convenience meals instead, you're depriving your body of the very tools it needs to regulate blood sugar naturally. Now consider movement. Modern life has made it far too easy to sit. We sit in our cars, we sit at desks, we sit on the couch scrolling through our phones, but our bodies were never designed for this kind of stillness. Movement is like a key that unlocks your cells, allowing glucose to enter and be used for energy. When you move, whether it's walking, stretching, lifting weights, or dancing, your muscles pull sugar out of your bloodstream and put it to work. But when you spend most of your day inactive, that sugar just lingers, building up and causing harm. It's no wonder that one of the most effective natural tools for lowering blood sugar is simply regular exercise. And the best part? You don't need a gym membership or hours of free time. Even 20 to 30 minutes of brisk walking each day can make a massive difference. Sleep is another lifestyle factor that most people underestimate. When you don't get enough sleep, your body becomes more resistant to insulin and your blood sugar rises. Poor sleep also increases cravings for sugary, high-carb foods, creating a dangerous cycle of exhaustion and unhealthy eating. Think about the last time you pulled an all-nighter or stayed up late for days in a row. Did you crave vegetables and lean protein the next day? Probably not. You likely reached for coffee, pastries, and fast food. That's your body crying out for quick energy, but giving in only makes the blood sugar problem worse. Consistent, quality sleep is one of the most powerful but overlooked tools for preventing diabetes. And then there's stress. We often separate stress from physical health, but the truth is they're deeply connected. When you're under stress, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones were designed to prepare you for fight or flight, which means they raise blood sugar to give you quick energy. But in today's world, the threats we face aren't wild animals. They're deadlines, bills, traffic, arguments. And unlike a wild animal encounter, these stressors don't end quickly. They linger. That means your blood sugar stays elevated longer, wearing your system down. Chronic stress is like a slow leak in your health, constantly dripping poison into your body without you realizing it. Learning how to manage stress through deep breathing, meditation, prayer, or even a simple walk in nature can dramatically reduce this hidden driver of high blood sugar. Another lifestyle link comes from alcohol and smoking. Alcohol can spike or crash your blood sugar depending on the type and amount, and chronic drinking damages the liver, which plays a key role in blood sugar regulation. Smoking, on the other hand, makes your body more resistant to insulin and increases the risk of diabetes dramatically. These aren't just bad habits for your lungs or your liver. They directly fuel the fire of blood sugar problems. Even hydration matters. Something as simple as drinking enough water throughout the day helps your kidneys flush excess sugar from your system. Yet so many people go through their days dehydrated, sipping on sodas, energy drinks, or coffee instead of clean water. The result? More stress on the kidneys, more strain on the body, and higher blood sugar levels overall. And finally, let's talk about consistency. One unhealthy meal doesn't cause diabetes, just like one skipped workout doesn't ruin your health. But when poor choices stack up day after day, year after year, that's when the damage becomes real. High blood sugar is often the result of hundreds of small decisions, each one seemingly harmless on its own, but together forming a pattern that puts your health in danger. The opposite is also true. One good choice made consistently can turn the tide. Swapping soda for water every day, walking after dinner instead of sitting down, choosing whole foods over processed junk, these small shifts add up to powerful protection over time. The truth is, your daily lifestyle is either your medicine or your poison. You don't have to be perfect and you don't have to live in fear, but you do have to take responsibility because your habits today shape your health tomorrow. If you keep living the same way, you'll keep getting the same results. But if you're willing to change, even in small, steady ways, your body has an incredible ability to heal and restore balance. High blood sugar doesn't have to be your future. It doesn't have to define your story. The power is in your hands, in the food you choose, the steps you take, the sleep you prioritize, the stress you manage, and the consistency you build. Every healthy decision is a vote for your future self, for the energy, the clarity, and the freedom you deserve. And that's the real link between lifestyle and blood sugar. Your daily habits are writing your health story, one choice at a time. When you understand the dangers of high blood sugar, when you recognize the warning signs, and when you see how your daily lifestyle is connected, the next question becomes the most important of all. What can you do about it? This is where knowledge turns into power, because information alone won't change your life. Action will. Your action plan is about prevention, empowerment, and taking back control before high blood sugar controls you. The first and most powerful step is to take a serious look at your diet. Food is not just calories, it's information for your body. Every bite you take sends a signal. It either tells your blood sugar to spike and cause chaos, or it tells your body to stay balanced and healthy. Think about what's on your plate right now. If it's filled with sugary drinks, white bread, fried foods, and processed snacks, you're sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. The action plan here is to replace those with whole, unprocessed foods. Focus on vegetables of all colors, rich in fiber and nutrients that help slow down sugar absorption. Choose lean proteins like chicken, fish, beans, or eggs to keep you satisfied and stabilize energy. Add healthy fats from nuts, seeds, avocados, and olive oil to keep your metabolism steady. And whenever possible, swap refined carbs for whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, oats, whole wheat. These small swaps are like flipping switches in your body, guiding it back toward balance. The next part of your plan is movement. Exercise is not punishment, and it doesn't have to mean hours at the gym. It's medicine. Every time you move your muscles, you're opening doors for glucose to leave your bloodstream and enter the cells where it belongs. Even something as simple as a 20-minute brisk walk after a meal can lower blood sugar significantly. If walking is all you can do, then walk. If you can do more, add strength training, cycling, swimming, or even dancing. The key is consistency. Moving your body most days of the week will help your blood sugar stay in check, and it will also improve your mood, your energy, and your overall quality of life. Think of movement as a gift, not a chore. Another crucial piece of this plan is sleep. Most people don't connect sleep with blood sugar, but the connection is real and powerful. When you don't sleep enough, your hormones get out of balance. Cortisol rises, insulin sensitivity drops, and your blood sugar goes up. You also crave more unhealthy foods because your body is desperately looking for quick energy. So commit to giving your body the rest it deserves. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. That means creating a bedtime routine, dimming lights, turning off screens, and allowing your body to wind down. Think of sleep as a tool for healing, a natural reset button that prepares you for the next day. Stress management is also part of your action plan. Stress doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your blood. Every time you're stressed, your body releases hormones that raise blood sugar. That's useful in a life or death emergency, but harmful when it happens every day because of deadlines, bills, or arguments. You may not be able to eliminate stress completely, but you can learn to manage it. Simple practices like deep breathing, meditation, prayer, journaling, or even taking 5 minutes of quiet can bring stress levels down. Exercise and sleep help too. When you lower your stress, you're not just protecting your peace of mind, you're protecting your blood sugar as well. Regular health checkups are another part of prevention. Many people are afraid to see their doctor because they don't want to hear bad news. But ignoring the truth doesn't protect you. Knowledge gives you choices. A simple blood test can tell you where you stand. If your numbers are high, you'll know what changes to make. If they're in a healthy range, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing your efforts are working. Either way, the checkup empowers you. Don't wait for symptoms to become severe before you take action. Catching blood sugar problems early can save you from years of struggle later on. Hydration may sound too simple to matter, but it plays a big role. Water helps your kidneys flush out excess sugar and supports overall balance in the body. Too many people drink soda, energy drinks, or flavored coffees instead of water, adding sugar to an already overloaded system. Make water your main drink. Carry a bottle with you, sip throughout the day, and keep your body hydrated. It's one of the easiest yet most powerful habits you can adopt. Now let's talk about mindset, because without the right mindset, none of these steps will stick. You cannot view this action plan as a burden. You must see it as empowerment. Every time you choose a healthier meal, you're not missing out. You're investing in more years of life. Every time you exercise, you're not punishing yourself. You're unlocking energy and protecting your future. Every time you go to bed on time or take a deep breath instead of stressing out, you're not being lazy. You're building resilience. Reframe the way you see these choices, because mindset is what turns discipline into freedom. And remember, prevention is always easier than treatment. Once high blood sugar becomes diabetes, the path forward becomes harder. Medications, needles, constant monitoring, complications. That's not the life you want. But you don't have to go there. You have the power to prevent it by acting today. You don't need perfection. You just need progress. Small, consistent changes compound into massive results over time. Picture your future. Imagine yourself years from now, full of energy, with clear vision, strong nerves, and a healthy heart. Imagine enjoying time with your family, traveling, playing with your children or grandchildren, and living without the constant fear of illness. That future is not built on luck. It's built on the choices you make right now. This action plan is not just about blood sugar. It's about your entire life. So here's your call to action. Take one step today, just one. Swap one unhealthy food for a healthier choice. Go for one walk after dinner. Turn off your phone and get one more hour of sleep. Drink one extra glass of water. Take one moment to breathe deeply instead of stressing. One step may seem small, but it's how every journey begins. And when you add them up step by step, day by day, you transform your health and your future. Your body is giving you a chance. Don't wait until the symptoms get worse. Don't wait for a doctor's warning or a health crisis. Act now, take charge, and empower yourself, because your health is your greatest wealth, and the best time to protect it is today. You've now seen the hidden signs, the silent dangers, the daily habits, and the steps you can take to reclaim your health. High blood sugar is not a small problem. It's a ticking clock that, if ignored, can change your entire life. But here's the truth you need to carry with you. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not defined by your past choices. Every single day, you wake up with the chance to rewrite your story. Your body is whispering to you through its symptoms, through its cravings, through its energy. The question is, will you listen, or will you wait until the whisper turns into a scream? The strongest people are not those who avoid struggle, but those who face it head on and take action before it's too late. The power to prevent, the power to heal, the power to live fully, it's in your hands. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Start small, but start strong. Drink the water, take the walk, choose the meal that nourishes, not destroys. Rest when your body needs it. Breathe when stress rises. And remember, every good choice is an investment into a future where you are stronger, freer, and more alive. This is not just about avoiding diabetes. It's about choosing life over decline. It's about stepping into a future where you're not bound by medications, fear, or fatigue, but driven by energy, clarity, and confidence. So let me leave you with this. Don't wait for a wake-up call. Be your own wake-up call. Don't let high blood sugar steal your future. Take it back, own it, protect it, and live the vibrant, unstoppable life you deserve.